Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkandbutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. Today I am going to use a bunch of stuff that is actually on the last chance list. It will be retiring. So they've all been moved in there, and so there will be, while supplies last, until our new catalogue launches in May. So today we will be using Petals of Beauty, lovely bundle, and I realised I hadn't even opened it yet. This is one of the online exclusives that's retiring. Great set of dies that go with it as well, so you can layer up the flowers, or you can do the two-step stamping, which is what we're going to do today. These are the dies, so some of these are actually quite large, so they're a good size, really nice decorative elements on there. That's worthwhile looking at. And this set, also online exclusive, also has some dies with it that cut out these really nice funky shapes and everything, but this one's really great for texture and background, so that's what we're going to be doing with that today. And in the background here there is some texture. Okay, so that texture is from a embossing folder, also an online exclusive that will be retiring. So what's this one called? Something like Lovely Patterns or something like that, or Beautiful Pattern maybe. Okay, so and we're also using retiring in colours. So this is Summer Splash. The just lining that up in the folder there. But this one was made with Pretty in Pink in there, and we've also used some soft sea foam and some crumb cake as well. The lighter pink is bubble bath. Okay, just to give it a bit of a tone on tone kind of look. So obviously we're going to mix things up. I'm going to be using Summer Splash, so I've already cut some layers on that. I'll give you the sizes of those when we get to it, but let's emboss this first so we can make this nice background panel. So this will be 4 by 5 3/4, and we'll use our cut and emboss machine. This is a thick folder, 3D one, okay, or thick folder, yeah. And so we will need to use our specialty plate, the number 4 plate, okay, with the base platform. So cardstock, embossing folder, that's moved. Do you like to have it even? It just looks it's amazing how your eye is drawn to things if they are not straight, or not nearly straight anyway. There we go. And then the specialty plate goes on top there, and we'll just run that through the machine. Okay, so the number 2 plate is only for die cutting, so always take that out when you're embossing, whether that's 3D or regular, and we'll just run that through. And we'll be doing some die cutting in a moment, so I'm just going to replace that die adapter, put back my number 3 plate. This is a very well used. I keep, flip it over every now and again, and it keeps it from warping. I've had that one for a long time now. Okay, so this is actually the 2-tone cardstock, so that's the dark side that's debossed, which also looks really cool. We're going to use the texture on the light side. Okay, so that's our background panel done. Oops. It's a Summer Splash cardstock. I've got another bit of the 2-tone, this time with the dark side, to give it a bit of contrast from that. This is one of my mini layers, sort of, in that I cut this wrong, and this is actually the 3 and 4 3/4 panel. Normally I would do that in the white, so this is going to be 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. 5/8. That sounds better. Okay, so that's the panel we'll be working on to do some stamping. So we'll pop those to one side just for a minute, and we need to stamp our flowers. Now I've already got a few already done and ready to go. The darker colour is actually Night of Navy, and I've used Garden Green for the foliage. Okay, but we're just going to need to do a couple more, and I haven't got a scrap of cardstock. La la la. Let's find some. That's silly of me. I've got everything out apart from that. Okay, this might be big enough. Okay, so I've already done the little ones. I just wanted to show you how to do one of the big ones, but the same rule. Do you know what? I'll show you how to do both. So I'm going to use the dark colour first, actually, and I'm going to do that detailed portion. So both the stamps are here, okay, and you'll see one has is more solid than the other, so we're using the more detailed one. And the same goes with the smaller flower. So this one's more solid than that one. Okay, let's pop that out of the way. Let's say the dark colour that we're going to use is Night of Navy, so we're going to pull that out and just stamp that flower. So as long as this one fits, the other one will, so that's fine. So nice firm pressure on that, and do the same with this little teeny one. Okay, and then we'll come back to Night of Navy in a minute. Then we'll bring in the Summer Splash and bring in the other two stamps, the more solid ones, and just hover over the top of that, line up the shape and press that down over the top. And we can do exactly the same with this smaller version as well. It's really forgiving because it's this layer that will determine where the die cut fits. So as long as you've got it sort of roughly in the right position, just go with it. Don't need to worry about it not being perfect. It'll be just fine. Just fine. Okay, so there are coordinating dies for these elements, and I've already got a leaf stamped, just in plain old garden green. There's no two-stage or two-step elements to that. Okay, and again the dies just fit over the top. Just line those up until you can't see a white bits showing. Okay, I'll just pop that into place. Some super low tack tape. This is like decorator's tape for delicate surfaces. Okay, but I don't ever use it straight off the roll. I always just take off a little bit of it first. So on the plate then, I can get that on, not too close to the edges. Okay, so we can get those through in a single pass, and there's no straight edges to worry about. So if you've got straight edges, remember to always put them on an angle. Just helps those rollers apply that pressure evenly rather than trying to get over a speed bump. So these will die cut beautifully, and this low tack tape holds it firmly enough, but not too firmly. Get me fingers and thumbs to work. There we go, and we'll clean that up after. That one ended up stuck to the table, and we've got an extra one of these. Aren't they pretty? So pretty. Is it called Pretty Florals? What was it called? Petals of Beauty. So they're beautiful. Okay, cokey. Right. So now we've got some of our elements together. I will be shaping these flowers. So the way I do that is I press onto the back with a rounded tool of some description. Use what you've got. So I was testing out some different colours. I didn't like the effect with Blueberry Bushel. It needed the darker colour. I also tried it with Balmy Blue, and again that was a little bit pale, so I ended up going with these. So I don't know whether I probably don't need all 4 of these. Didn't intend to use all 4. Only intended to use 2 of the other flowers as well, but we've got the extras, so it's either that or it's a bonus card later on. Okay, so again, just pressing some texture into those. I know it seems weird to bend it one way and then the other, but you get this sort of nice sort of cupped look, especially with the larger ones. You get this more of a more natural shape with that. Not going to worry too much about the petals, but you can. Not these petals. What are these called? These are called leaves. Right. So you can really kind of give those a bit of shape as well, so that they don't look quite so flat. Okay. So that makes them kind of curve that way. What you might want to do is curve them this way. So just apply the pressure and just, you know, anything rounded, scissors handle, you know, like the rubber on a pencil, anything like that. Okay, so you've got options to create dimension with what you're doing. So our little background piece here, let me just grab something because I just need to snap off a little bit. I'm actually going to use basic beige and a bit of Night of Navy for this. So I've got this darker colour going through, and I kind of wanted that to echo through, so I've decided to introduce the Night of Navy. On this one I used crumb cake in the background and to match the sentiment, but like I say, I felt like it needed something, and brown goes nice with the pink and green, right? So this time round I'm actually going to use beige, and then I'm going to do the accents in the Night of Navy. Okay, so this is a cool stamp that will just provide you that sort of wash of background colour. It's a distinctive stamp, so it doesn't stamp the whole thing, but it gives you this sort of cool kind of textured sort of look. And we'll pop on another one, maybe this way around, down here. Try and make it a bit more sort of organic, if that's a thing. Okay, and then we will use the Night of Navy for the little, whoops, the dottage splatters around around there. Okay, might sneak in a little bit over here, might not see it, and we'll see how that goes. Because on this one I felt like I wanted more and ended up having to try and sort of squeeze it in, so I've tried to sort of spread it out a little bit more, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So just get that stamp cleaned off, and we'll need that for the sentiment as well. So while we've got that there, let's get a little strip of card. Whenever I cut down like car bases and things like that, kind of end up with a whole heap of strips of stuff. So this happens to be what's this called, White Willow, which I love for layering and stuff like that, and it stamps great. Excuse me, embosses fine, and stamping blending, that was the other thing, you know, like ink blending. So this is also retiring my beautiful Simply Said stamp set. Oh, that was rubbish. Let's do that again. I wobbled on it. So super gutted that this one's going, because I go to this ever such a lot. Those of you who watch regularly know this. There we go, that's better. So yeah, Simply Said is a really super little set, very versatile, and I've used it tons. I've used it so much this isn't even sticking to there anymore. I've used every single one of those stamps numbers of times. Work really well with the stylish shapes as well, so they're staying, thank you. But like I say, this is retiring, which does make me super sad, super sad. Right, okay, so just for the sake of speed, we're going to just cut this at an angle. If you want the same angle, shimmy your little cut edge to the other end and use that as your template, assuming that your strip of cardstock is actually straight. Okay, so you'll get the same angle at both ends. For that, you have some snips are back in the online exclusives if you want some snips. Okay, so there's our sentiments, there's our panel. Right, let's get stuff stuck together. So this isn't a super complicated card at all. I don't do complicated. I don't. Okay. Oh, goodness me. Sorry, guys. It's been a bit of a funny day. It's been a bit of a funny week. Anyhow. Right. Let's pop that on there, just lining that up, get 3 sides even, the rest should take care of itself. Now I like these nice narrow borders. This is just going on flat, just with some Stampin' Seal, but I haven't put this panel on yet, so let's do that. Also going on flat. Bit of extra texture, so a little bit of extra tape going on there. The same applies. We'll just line that up at the bottom. Bit harder to see because it's tone on tone, but get that into place. Okay, and when you reinforce your score line, you don't want to go over that lovely embossing, so turn it over and reinforce your score line from the back. And then this guy can go on the front. If you want a bit of wet glue on there to help you line things up, and that's cool. The pattern is actually really useful for lining things up, and I seem to have got that reasonably straight at the bottom. Okay, I think my cat is going to start shouting at me in a minute, so if you can hear the cat shouting, she's fine. Okie dokie, so let's pop on some stuff. Okay, I think we can. She's just wondering where I am. She's like, where have you gone? She knows exactly where I am. Right, let's pop this on. Just a smidge of glue on that stem, that is all we're going to do. Okay, and I'm not going to press too hard in case we need to do a little bit of wriggling around. These lovely dottages hopefully are going to just peer through across there. And they're hanging outside the frame but not outside the width of the card. Okay, and then we've got our lovely flowers that we're going to pop in. So again, the technical term for this is a dollop. I'm going to put a dollop on there. don't know whether that's a very English word or a very Midlands English word, but dollop it is. Blob of glue that's now going to hide those stems for us. Now we can wriggle about with those and do what we need to. Do we need the third flower? Don't know. So let's do some more of these. I need at least 3 because that will make my, all my rules apply. Rules. They're not rules, but you know what I mean. Little guidance on positioning and things like that. So the third flower might be useful actually to get that sort of and you can kind of because of the way these little die is little stamp is, if you need to press it down with a pokey tool if your fingers won't get to where you want them. I think the third flower can go in. So we've got that pointy petal, let's do it that way, just so they don't all look the same. So we've got a beautiful cluster now. Of these. I think we'll pop another one in there. Poking out, and that's super cool. Okay, so there's loads of texture on that and like volume. Look at that. Okay, so this is one that you might even consider, people make boxer loops anymore. That might be one to consider for that category. So let's pop a single dimensional on this end of this sentiment, just about fits to, well, that's going to be about ½ inch, I should imagine. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm going to pop one dimensional on the end of this because I'm going to take it across all this texture across here, so it will make contact down there but not so much here. Okay, so for anything it does come into contact with, we'll just pop some adhesive across there. And we can pop that into place. Maybe just hold it a little bit, or just, you don't want to crush everything, but if you just pop a block on top of there, that's going to help everything just sort of even out a little bit. Okay, now I haven't put any embellishments on this, okay, but you could. Okay, there's loads to choose from, metallics, pearls, anything like that would tone in. There's some lovely, I think there's some moody dots or something, which are in the I think they're technically Secret Sea, but they're a dark blue anyway, that could go with that. So you've got options in terms of embellishments, but I actually, I wasn't sure this was going to turn out so great. Right, I actually really like it. Really, I like the drama of that dark colour. Don't know about you guys. This one's sort of very soft, very, I don't know, bridal, I don't know, but this is like, whoa, love it. Isn't that cute? Okay, so basically everything everything I've used, hopefully it's all still in stock, and I haven't tried to sell you something that isn't available, but have a look in the online store, have a look in the description. Everything will be linked in there so you can go directly to it, but I do encourage you to go onto the website, Stampin Up website. So the link to the online store in general is right at the bottom of the description, after the supply list, and then you can peruse everything that's available. Some things are discounted, and don't forget all the in colours that are, one of which I featured today in Summer Splash. So all of these ones, Summer Splash, Shy Shamrock, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink and Peach Pie, these guys are all going, and the associated products with them. So any ribbon, ink, re-inkers, two-tone cardstock, that kind of thing, it's all going to go alongside these. So have a look at that last chance list. There's a great big banner on the shop front now. You can go straight to it, and it's a category in the left hand menu as well. Okay, so that is it from me today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking with me. Stay safe, take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.